Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Story Beside. This seems like a really charming and beautiful game, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. We're going to record a few more episodes since I'm going to be busy for the next few weeks and won't be able to stream. I have no idea how long this game is or really very much about it, so we're going to go ahead and jump right.
Tiny twinkling firelights. We were meant to see them that night. Thousands upon thousands of them rushing into the sky like a great shining mist, surging with spirit and song, teeming like the sea. A spectacle we were to witness, painted across the sky in splendor. That's what the older folks were saying anyway.
I already really like this voice.
Lights like that, so achingly wondrous your breath catches in your throat and your heart forgets to beat. They tend to put me in a wistful sort of mind. I suppose that's what happened. I've come to the final chapter of my story and feel the need to justify it all. To make all the choices I've made mean something in the end. In the classic tales, it's simple. Straightforward. Of course, the hero's life was worth living. He saved a kingdom, slew a dragon. But mine, it's a different sort of story. Not much there for the poets to fuss their pens over. I was just a girl, living in a quiet village on a quiet mountainside.
It's already so lovely. Like, oh, I kind of want to cry a little bit. Like, oh, that is so beautiful. All right. Okay, Lyric, now we're the heroes, and you're the slime. Ready? You have to count down from 10. I'm not sure which key I need to hit. There we go. Now, Graham, Finn, let's hide. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're going to behave and wait all 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, what is this? Such a pretty color. But I can look at dawn flowers any old day. I need to find my friends. Okay.
Huh?
You're not frightened of me, are you, little one? Probably lived your whole life in Pyreside, same as me. Somebody hanging the log? No? Village of Pyreside. All adventurers welcome upon these misty mountain paths. And there's nothing, no like hidden paths off to the side. No? Okay. Well, one of them went this way. This art style is so pretty. The dawn flowers are in full bloom. Dad says they grow brighter every year around the summer solstice. Oh, a dragonberry! Miss Imelda makes the best pies with these. Take it. Yeah. No time to rest. I have to look for my friends. hidden in here anywhere? Oh, found her. Pyre Woods. The peaceful village of Pyreside lies ahead. She probably went down this bridge. I really want to go across the path. Oh, look at that sparkling waterfall. Oh, this is kind of spooky. Oh. I'm not allowed to go into the outer overworld. Ma'am says there's dangerous monsters out there. Spooky. Well, then where did my friend go? I guess she didn't go this way. Oh.
Huh?
Did she go inside the old hunting cabin? Doesn't she know there's a new villager moving in today? What are you doing in here, Kelsey? The new villager is moving in today. We really shouldn't.
Don't be such a goody two-shoes. I don't see him here right now, do you? No one will ever notice if we peek around a little. Look at all this stuff. He's got old maps, fancy bottles, and... Whoa! A sword! It looks sharp, too.
We should leave. Come on, Kelsey. We shouldn't be in here.
Don't be such a stick in the mud. We're not going to get in trouble for being curious. Mother told me all about this new villager, of course. She said he's moving here all the way from Rivermill. That's in the southeast. Is this him and his wife? She's sort of pretty, I guess. I wonder what happened to her. Mother said he's moving here alone.
Kelsey, he'll probably be back here soon with another cart full of his things. We need to get out of here.
Oh, how shiny! What a pretty necklace! How does it look on me? Mother says it's easy to be fooled, but I think this is a real sapphire. Look how it glitters.
Put it back, Kelsey. Jesus. Put it back. Put the necklace back, Kelsey. I'm not getting around.
Ugh, you're so boring. Here, you can put it back yourself. Just one thing. You have to take it from me first.
Kelsey.
Kelsey Martin was stubborn, stuck up, and self-centered.
She sounds like it.
She also happened to be my best friend. You take what you get in a little town like Pyreside.
I can't do that
Better or
accent, and I
worse.
won't try. Oh, God. Kelsey.
What were you chasing me for, Lyric? You broke the fancy bottle. Oh, no, no, no. What are we going to do?
You're the one that started it. I didn't even want to come in here in the first place.
Well, whatever. Let's just get out of here, okay? You can admit that you started it later.
Put the necklace back, Kelsey.
Huh?
Who are you? What are you doing in my cabin? We live in the village. I'm Lyric, and this is my friend Kelsey. We were just playing a game.
And you decided to ransack my cabin? Well then, you steal anything, break anything, out with it. We were playing a game, that's all. And now we should get home before our parents start worrying.
Kelsey, what did you do with the necklace?
Your parents can wait. The two of you are going to stand right there while I make sure all my things are precisely where I left them. If either of you move a single step, then I'll know you're guilty.
Well, I'm not moving. Kelsey's immediately gonna run off, but I'll just wait.
He'll notice that spill right away. What should we do?
We should stay put. Ooh, I didn't even get to choose. So, not content to break into my home, you decided to break open a bottle of my precious southern wine. Do you have any notion how far I've carried that bottle? What the taste of home might mean to me in this second place? Everything I've been drowning in lately, and here comes a pair of snot-nosed children making it worse. Wonder what stars fallen from the sky to turn my luck so black.
Huh?
Dad, what are you doing here? And Graham? Pardon me, will you, Lyric? I'd like to speak with Mr. Byrne. Greetings to you, Byrne. Pleased to see you again. James, was it? Wish I could say the same. Your daughter and her friend have been causing me more than a little grief. Yes, I might have heard something about that. Graham, would you like to step forward and tell Mr. Byrne what you told me?
I was the one who broke into your house. I thought it'd be the perfect hiding spot. The others had nothing to do with it. When I heard you coming, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I ran away into the woods.
Young Graham nearly barreled into me on the forest path, breathless and out of sorts. He confessed what he'd done almost immediately. If your story is true, boy, why were your friends inside when I arrived? And who broke my bottle of wine? Why don't you start from the beginning, Graham? I think we all need to hear the entire story.
Okay, well, we were playing a game of heroes and slimes.
Sweet Graham done it. Charming in a simple sort of way. Always thought
Damning
he
with
was
fake
so
praise.
Noble, falling on his sword to save us girls from a bit of trouble. Might have been keen on him back in those days.
So, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean any harm by it.
Lyric, Heart, is this true? Graham broke the bottle on his own, and you and Kelsey were simply helping him clean up? I trust you'll be honest with your father. Oh no, blame Graham or blame Kelsey. Graham seems to want to take it. And I can't take the blame. And Kelsey will be mad at me if I blame her. Blame Graham. Graham was the one who broke the bottle, but it was an accident, like he said. He didn't mean to do it.
I told him not to go in there, Mr. James. I told him the hunting cabin was off limits, but he just wouldn't listen.
Well, regardless of whose fault it was, all three of you are going to help Mr. Byrne clean up that spill. I don't think that's Mr. Byrne's concern. No, that isn't necessary. Just stay away from me and stay away from my things. All you rotten children. Grumpy old hero. But he didn't notice that Kelsey stole his necklace. Snooping around in Mr. Byrne's things was inconsiderate and irresponsible. Should have more sense than that, all three of you. Lyric, come with me. Sounds like we need to chat about the importance of respecting our neighbors. Graham, Kelsey, back up to the village. I'll be telling your folks what happened here, and I won't hear any arguments. I hope Kelsey didn't, for realsies steal that necklace. So this mess started with a harmless game of heroes and slimes? You and her friends running around the woods? Lyric, Heart, I know I'm usually the gentle, pushover kind of parent, but I can't help but be a little disappointed in you this time. Tell me, what is it you did wrong?
I went into the cabin. I shouldn't have gone inside the cabin with Chelsea, especially now that it's somebody's house. I'm sorry, Dad.
While that's true, that's not the reason I'm disappointed. Suppose I'll just tell you then. You played an entire game of heroes and slimes, and never once thought to ask your old man for advice. Champion hider I was back in the day, but I wasn't hiding, I was seeking.
Really? You're not upset with me?
What need do I have to be upset? You made a mistake, you apologized, and you won't let it happen again. I trust you on that. Besides, it's clear there are more important things I need to teach you. This way, Heart. So, what's over under on him dying tragically? You won't find the perfect hiding spot with your eyes only. Move some brush, climb a tree. You've got to think outside the box. That's what I was trying to do!
Dad, it's only a game.
This time? But what happens when a king behemoth gets loose in the woods and thinks a pretty little girl would make for a tasty snack? Luckily, you've got your old man to show you all the secrets these trees have to hide. Come now, it's not much farther. He's the cool dad, so he's totally gonna dice it. Whoa! That tree's huge!
He's sparkling.
What do you think, Heart? Your grandfather called it the mana tree. All those pyre lights certainly seem to like it.
It's so big. Is this the tallest tree in the whole forest?
It very well could be. The soil here in the mountains is dry and rocky, so most trees can only stretch their roots so deep. Now, my favorite hiding place is here in this glade. Why don't you try looking around for it? Okay. You might think you're well hidden back there, but I can still see patches of violet through the leaves. Keep looking. What? Inside the log? Never choose a spot you can't easily get yourself out of. Too easy to be trapped inside. That's some good advice. Huh. And nothing seems to happen when I go over here. Doesn't give me any prompts up here either. Sorry, Heart. Won't be getting any hints from me. I have walked this entire space. I have smashed my body up against every entrance. There's no... Could try leaping to the other bank, but if you slip, everyone's sure to hear the splash, to say nothing of soggy shoes. Don't give up, Lyric. I know you'll find the perfect spot. Getting warmer. Can I climb the tree? Nope. Look at her little face. Well done. That low branch around the back makes a perfect foothold for climbing. And who would think to look for you up there? Of course, if they do climb up after you, you'll need a quick plan of escape. Any brilliant ideas? I could jump down.
I could jump down. If someone was climbing up after me, I think that's what I would do.
Well, aren't you brave? But yes, I'd have to agree. I think jumping is your best shot at a quick escape. Lyric, heart, I'd never force you to do this. Are you scared?
A little scared. A little. It's a long way down from up here.
It's okay to be scared, Heart. Even the bravest adventurers get scared sometimes on their journeys. The secret is having strong and loyal companions to draw courage from in the dark times. It's how every hero prevails in the end. Lucky as you are, you've got them in spades. Your mother would do anything for you, your sister and your grandmother as well. And of course, you have me. I'll always be here to catch you. Remember that, Heart. Are you ready? Jump. There we are, Lyric. Inherited a fair bit of your mother's pluck, didn't you? You barely even hesitated. Just don't go growing up too fast, will you? Your old man still likes to feel needed from time to time.
Don't be silly, Dad. How could I stop myself from growing up?
Well, isn't that the age-old question? If you ever find an answer, I hope you'll share it with the rest of us. Come now, Heart. It's time to head back to the village. Your mother must be wondering where we've been. Heart as a nickname is so endearing. I'm going up to the inn to see if your mother needs any help. Join us there soon, Heart. I'm sure she'll have a task for you as well. It's so cute. I love it already.
Why does Nana even bother putting up these notices? The only people who ever come to our village festivals already know about them. Look at a fish. Little fish in the water. The chickens!
Are they really big chickens or am I really tiny?
So adorable! I want to be friends with every baby animal in the world.
The goats. Oh, are you scared? Don't be nervous now, little Lyric. They're only curious.
I'm not nervous. Gramp says orcs are really friendly.
Well, he would know, wouldn't he? My boy's got the unsanitary habit of falling asleep curled up next to him in their stalls. Be lying if I said I hadn't done the same oftentimes after a hard day's work. There's something real comforting in their gentle nature. Here, go ahead and take this. I hope you make fast friends. Stick?
It's a root?
That there's a dream root. It can only grow here in these mountain woods, and the oryx can't get enough of it. Looks like you've got a few takers already. To your left is a sunlight oryx. You can tell from the sheen in her brown coat. Daybreak wool is the softest, warmest wool you'll ever find. On your other side's a moonlight oryx. Their coats come in shades of black or white, but what's truly special about them is their milk. Midnight milk is known across the land for its rich and filling flavor. It's said you can live off it for weeks. I want to feed all of them. How about the white one?
She was so happy to take it. But what about the others, Mr. William? Aren't they hungry?
Don't you fret, little Lyric. I've got plenty of dream root to go around. Dragged myself away from the calves in the barn to feed these beauties. Hand feeding an oryx helps create a personal bond. Luna there won't be forgetting your generosity anytime soon. It's important we treasure our friendships in these wondrous creatures. Sad truth is, there aren't many of them left. A particular diet along with the coin-hungry poachers make it hard for them to thrive anywhere but these mountains. In fact, these are likely some of the last domesticated oryx in the entire realm. We've got to look after them with special care.
That's so sad. I wonder if they get lonely.
In a way, it's sad, yes, but it also makes each one of them more precious, more meaningful, a friend. That's how I try to see it anyway. In any case, thanks for helping me out. Luna thanks you too. And hopes you'll be back soon with more dream root. Hi, Luna. Hi. Thank you for your help. Our Oryx friends need a lot of looking after. Oh, hey, Lyric. Want to hear a hilarious joke I made up? Why did the airship crash into the ocean? Because the pilot was a tomato. Haha, get it? Tomatoes can't fly airships. That's hilarious. That's hilarious, Finn. A tomato would make a terrible pilot. I'm gonna make her a very sweet little girl, because this is a sweet game. Yeah, that's why the joke is so funny. I'm gonna tell it to everyone in the village at dinner. The entire village fits in for dinner. I believe it. Done at barnyard. Take care not to disturb our birds and beasts.
Wait, Lyric. Dad says no one is allowed in the barn today. He says the orc calves need sleep.
Okay.
Who are you? Finn must have fallen into the river again. I wonder if Miss Molly ever gets tired of drying his clothes.
If it isn't little Lyric. Heard you had quite the afternoon running around with my two boys. Got yourselves in a right bit of mischief and all. Honestly, my Gram should have more sense than that. Suppose it's too much to ask, him acting like that good role model for his brother. He's a good boy. Forgive me, dear. I forgot who I was talking to. But wait, you might be the perfect person to help me with something. Don't go frowning like that. It'll only take a moment. I know how precious your time is, young as you are. See, my husband and I have been working to fix up this raised bed for a new crop, and we ran into a bit of a snag deciding what to plant.
Miss Molly, what does this have to do with me?
Have a little patience, would you? I'm getting to that part. I'm leaning towards a beautiful flower garden. Imagine glancing out the farmhouse window and seeing a real color blooming out here. William, on the other hand, reckons an herb garden would be best for teas and salves and the like. The dull, practical choice. So then, after days of bickering, I suggested we turn the decision over to someone with no horse and all in our race. You're as impartial as they come, little Eric. What do you think? Take your time, even if there's only one clear choice. Yeah, it's the herb garden.
A flower garden would be pretty, but I think you should plant herbs. Teas and salves are more useful than flowers.
Oh, well, can't say I'm not disappointed, but fair is fair. Swore to respect the decision of our little judge. I do appreciate your input, little Eric, even though you fell on the side of my dear husband. An herb garden it is. Done at Farmhouse. Fresh homegrown produce available at our stall. Is he in here? Graham.
So humiliating trying to spell in front of everyone. Kelsey's never going to let me live that down. Is there an extra E in sovereign? I still don't know.
So they teach the school as well.
Looks like the perfect spot for a little gray kitty. I wonder where Smokey went off to anyway.
Upstairs, maybe? There he is. Grandma, I'm sorry you had to take the call.
Oh, hey, Lyric. Thanks for coming to say hi, even though I'm probably not supposed to be talking to you right now. Huh? Are you grounded? Oh, no, Graham. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have blamed you.
Don't sweat it.
I wanted to take the heat, remember? I just didn't think my folks would be so serious about it. It's because that grumpy burn man is coming to the village dinner. That's what I think, anyway. They want him to feel welcome here, so they gotta punish the kid who broke into his house. You know, make an example out of me. That's terrible. You didn't even do it. So you're not coming to dinner? What about the Overlook after? You still get to watch the Pyre Lights, don't you?
Don't worry, I'll find a way to see him.
I'm sure my folks wouldn't care so much after a few glasses of wine. Anyway, you'd better go before Mam finds out I've been talking to you. Save a slice of dragonberry pie for me, will ya?
Bye, Graham. I'm sorry we got you in trouble. Look at their little produce stand.
Graham's family is always has fresh fruit and veggies for sale. I bet we'll be having some for dinner tonight. Mam used to read me a poem about sunflowers every night before bed. I'm too old for that stuff now, though. No, you're not. You're never too old. Hilt and hammer. Reliable weapons and armor at affordable prices. Oh, Lyric. Not bothered by the loud clanging, eh? Myself, I'll take a hammer on steel over the twins' constant bickering any day. They're at it again inside. Had to step out, clear my head. Hard to believe those two shared a womb. Can't share so much as a toolbox these days.
They do seem to fight a lot. All the time, actually.
Suppose it's just siblings being siblings, but then you and your sister are getting on like bread and butter, don't you?
We sometimes fight. We do fight sometimes. She gets mad when I touch her things.
Glad to hear it. Yours look like the perfect saintly family from the outside, but I suppose we're all only human. Get along now, Lyric. Gotta set these blades to cooling before dinner.
Who are the twins? Oh, they are fighting.
You're seriously mad at me, Sistra? After all this time, you can sure hold a grudge. It's not a grudge. You leave my tools lying around all the time. The wrench was just one example. Oh, and Sistra means little sister, blockhead. We're twins. Does it really? Okay, you got me. I never paid much attention to Miss Prim's listens. To be fair, it was the victim of some pretty intense bullying from one of our other students. I bet it was Brianna. We were homeschooled! I was the only other student! Yeah, and you were a huge bully. Still are. So that's how you want to settle this? Another bloody nose? Bring it on, Sestra! You can barely lift your hammer with those girly arms. Hi, you two. Oh, hey there, Lyric. Welcome to Hilton Hammer. Reliable weapons and armor at affordable prices. How can we help?
Just saying hello. I just came in to say hello. Sorry to interrupt.
Actually, maybe you can settle something for us. You're a neutral third party, and you'll be able to see right away my blockhead brother is wrong. My sweet, not at all screwy sister is mad because I occasionally borrow her backup toolbox when I'm working on a piece for the shop. And my brother thinks it's just nifty leaving my tools on whatever random table tickles his fancy, like they were his. And my sister thinks it's just swell getting furiously angry about it, even though she never needs the tools I borrow. So, what do you think? I'm siding with Brianna here. Like, I think it's fine if you borrow her tools, but put them back when you're done with them. Don't just leave them everywhere.
Even if it's an old toolbox, it still belongs to Brianna, and you should respect other people's things.
Exactly. I knew I liked you, Lyric. Well then, back to work? Yeah, back to work.
I love all these people so far. They're great.
Thanks for siding with me, Lyric. I can't believe my block-headed brother sometimes. No respect at all for my things.
If I knew how to make weapons, I'd forge a gigantic sword like the one Muriel Daybringer uses to fight off the goblin army. But that's just a story. In real life, no one would be able to carry a sword that big. Amazing how this saw can cut through big old logs like it was nothing. Amazing and a little scary.
It's not really about the tools, you know? Brianna doesn't care about the tools. She just gets so cranky and takes it out on me. Okay. Then don't.
Huh? How do Isaac and Brianna read their own handwriting? Even Finn's letters are neater than this.
Burn.
Measurements for a wooden desk. Very detailed. Very boring. Mr. Donovan keeps his bedroom locked.
Just snooping through everybody's places. Ooh.
Hey, Jackdaw. Still counting down the days. I know you're worried about getting caught, but I really want to watch the Firelights together. So we'll just have to be extra sneaky. Roguish. Is that the word? It's stupid and girly or whatever, but I don't care. I can't wait. Your Hummingbird.
Huh?
Jackdaw. Hummingbird. Does Isaac have a secret girlfriend? Isaac. Do I admit to snooping? I like that neither of the twins make their bed. Brianna sure likes her hammers. She displays them like artwork. Should we go talk to Isaac? And see if I have any other dialogue options. Hi, Isaac. I was sniffing through your shit. Okay, nope. Nothing new. Bye, everybody. Oh, look at these lovely tables all set out. Oh, don't mind me, dear. You know how your Nana likes to fuss over the seating arrangements before a big village dinner. Is anyone special coming? Anyone special? My dear, the whole village will be in attendance, but I suppose you meant anyone out of the ordinary. I'd be most surprised if any of those adventurers in the inn decided to join us, too wrapped up in their own affairs as usual. We're expecting Mr. Byrne, the guardsman who just moved into the old cabin on the cliff. Rumor has it the two of you have met. I don't think he likes me very much, or my friends. There's plenty of time to make a second impression, dear. All the time in the world, if he decides to stay here in Fireside, that is. Anywhere, dear, where would you prefer to sit? With your little friends as usual? Or will you charm us family members with your company? I want to sit with the family. I'll sit with you and my parents this time. Maybe next to Ilsa? Isla. Isla. A pleasant surprise. I'll take that into account. Now go ahead, run along and play. Your Nana can handle the place settings. So there's only like 18 villagers in this town? Ooh. The Sleepy Dragon. Warm beds and brews for weary travelers. Okay, that seems like
What's there
home.
to say of the Sleepy Dragon? Suppose most folks would mark it a humble inn on a little hill. But to my family, Mum and Dad, Nana, my sister and me, it was our castle, our livelihood, my home.
I like the birds on the roof. Okay, we're not ready to go yet. I want to go visit everyone else first. The Astral Apothecary. Healing herbs, divine draughts, and special spices. This is such a lovely little village. Anybody here? Cabinet inventory, 19 star month. Ragwort eye drops, clear sharpened eyesights. Queen's basil. I'm not going to read all of these. Kelpie hoof. Ooh. Do all these elixirs and remedies really work? Dozens of tiny jars, each with a different mixture inside. This one could give me a magical strength. That one could infect me with poison. I guess that's why Mr. Joseph labels them so carefully. Where is Mr. Joseph? Is he upstairs? Hanging herbs by the fireplace helps them dry out quicker. Miss Imelda taught me that when I was little. Oh, Miss Imelda maybe? Good afternoon, sweetheart. Or is it evening already? When you get to be my age, time just slips through your fingers. You're not that old. Poppycock, a little too polite for your own good, you are. I've lived a very long, very full life, thank you very much. If I bought a farm this very night, stars forgive the thought, I'd not have much to complain about on the path to paradise. Now then, sweetheart, anything I can do for you? These biscuits won't get to baking themselves. Offer her the dragonberry. How delightful. Did you find this in the forest? Rare to find one so perfectly ripe, and so juicy. What a dear, always bringing me the berries you find on your little adventures. I'd like to return the favor this time, if I might. Truthfully, I can't take all the credit for the pies you and your little friends love so much. I'm simply following an old family recipe.
I've always kept it a secret, but as Joseph and I never had any children of our own, well, I need to pass it down to someone, won't I? Imelda's traditional dragonberry pie. 2 cups fairy flour, 8 tablespoons of butter cut into pieces, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, half a teaspoon of pyre salt, 5 cups fresh dragonberries stemmed, 1 cup sugar, 1 pinch pyre salt, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon nutmeg seed. This does sound like a pretty, logical recipe. I would just maybe put a little bit of almond extract. If you're making a cherry pie, a little bit of almond extract. Oh, yum! I can make my own dragonberry pies with this? Well, it's not as simple as you make it sound. A recipe isn't a magical spell, you know. You've got to work at it, perfect your practice over time. But keep it at it, sweetheart. I dare say your desserts will be the mouth-watering sort before you know it. Thanks, Imelda. You're lovely. Is Joseph in here? Oh, door's locked. The bedroom door is locked. Yeah, I probably shouldn't try to go in everybody's bedroom. No Joseph, though. Oh! There he is.
Oh, Lyric, what a pleasant surprise. I was just on my way to ask my darling wife for a stroll. So many pretty sights this evening. Firelight dancing in the tall grass and all that. Perhaps you could care to join us?
Politely decline. Maybe another time, Mr. Joseph, but thank you for the invitation.
I want to go see everybody else, and I'm worried that might block me out.
Such lovely manners. James and Caroline certainly have done right by you and your sister, haven't they? Well, suit yourself, dear. You're always welcome.
Thanks, Joseph. Bye.
I want to go check in on more people. Nope. This is the house I was already at. Okay. Oh, look at the lovely little well.
Isla says I'm not strong enough to draw water from the well. I bet I could if I tried. I just don't want to.
Blossom Boutique. Only the finest garments and specialty apparel. Bet this is where our friend lives. Did you need something, Lyric? Kelsey is playing outside if you're looking for our darling daughter.
Thanks, Mr. Miles. Just poking around.
I just love that, this is genuinely just...
Whoa. Mr. Miles and Miss Eva charge a lot of money for their fanciest outfits. I think I'm stuck with hand-me-downs.
This entire village just seems to be like the support crew to the typical heroes.
I wonder what Miss Eva is working on next. Probably something really pretty.
And I love stories like that. Look at you! Oh,
Cassie, you're even fluffier than usual today. Is there a dog still under that? Is there still a dog under all that fur?
Hi.
Lyric, sweet girl. Are your shoes holding up? Last I mended them, I didn't know you'd be wearing them gallivanting around the woods. Yes, thank you, Miss Eva. I really only have the one pair. Well, except for my fancy slippers.
Is something wrong with your dress slippers? I would think a festival like tonight would be the perfect occasion to show them off.
They're uncomfortable. They hurt my feet, Miss Eva. Do they have to be so pointy?
Well, comfort isn't always the first consideration when it comes to fashion. That style has caught on like wildfire in the capital city. Go ahead and run along, sweet girl. I'll see what I can do about stitching you a new pair of slippers before the next festival.
Thanks. That's sweet of you. Bye, Kelsey. You're so fluffy. So Kelsey is outside. But I can still snoop. Social scoop for all the latest stories and styles. Prince Seth Foster's newborn puppy. It's true, ladies. We have yet another reason to love Prince Cephalo Hansen Ahiris. The royal dreamboat was recently spotted on one of his woodland hunts with a brand new spaniel puppy. As if we could swoon any harder. More adorable details inside.
Hotter clothes for cooler days. Don't be distracted by the summertime sun. Autumn is right around the corner, and you don't want to be caught flaunting any outdated looks. Want to know the trends fashion designer Esther Swain is predicting for the fall? Find out inside.
I can't believe she gets these delivered every single month. Who cares about these people?
Yeah.
Kelsey really uses all these oils and perfumes? She does smell nice, but that seems like so much work.
Okay. I just love this chance to just get to know everybody. Oh.
Looking good, Albie. Scare any mean crows today?
He's a squirrel running around. I love him.
Ma'am says she doesn't like strawberries. But how could someone not like strawberries? They're delicious.
I agree. I've eaten so many strawberries tonight. It's great. There's like a 2-pound thing of strawberries that were on sale for super cheap. Oh, that's an interesting effect over there.
I'm not allowed inside the creepy old windmill, which is fine by me. Kelsey says she hears ghosts crying in there at night.
Kelsey, you little shit.
Hey, Lyric, can you keep a secret? Of course I can.
She stole the necklace, didn't she?
You can count on me. What is it?
You know that mean ogre man who yelled at us? You know how we went in his house and you made me try on his necklace? That is not how that happened.
You stole the necklace?
Keep it down, dummy. I didn't steal anything. I just forgot I had it until we went back to the village.
Kelsey, you have to take it back. It's not yours.
Are you crazy? You heard the ogre man. If we go anywhere near his house again, he's gonna blow his lid. I'll take it back.
Give it to me. I'll take it back.
You're really gonna do that? Well, it's your funeral. No take backsies if you end up dead. Good. Ooh. That's neat. It's like a cove down there. Oh. This is the title screen.
That view. Oh, that view. Even as a child, I knew how lucky I was to have it. Songbirds flitting across the sky, moonfish shimmering in the lake, and the most romantic sunsets a girl could dream of, steps away from our door. Long, lazy hours I spent soaking it all in.
So lovely. Did my game freeze? I did. So my game froze, and I went back and was running through stuff again. And I did decide to go for a walk with these two. They just asked me if I knew what to expect with the festival tonight.
I don't remember. I don't really remember, but I know there's going to be lots and lots of firelights in the Overlook. Indeed, there will be. It's a mystical gathering that only happens once every 7 years, and on the night of the summer solstice. Joseph and I have watched each and every one of these over the last 50 years, and it never fails to take our breath away.
What voice did I do for Joseph? I just did it recently. The origins of the festival are simply fascinating. It dates back centuries when Queen Ambi still claimed rule over these lands. You must have come across the Queen in your studies, the most vile and wretched tyrant our realm has ever seen. Does such a charming girl need to hear the story, Joseph?
I can handle it. I've read all sorts of fairy tales.
Queen Ambi was no fairy tale child. She was regrettably real and horrifyingly cruel in her conquest. Whenever she would send her shadow army, tragedy and plague would follow, cursing and scarring the very land itself. Her army set on a chilling march across the northern plains, razing every village in their path. Eventually, when there was nowhere else to run, a small band of survivors fled into these very mountains. They were pursued by the Queen's shadow guard, forced to the very edge of these cliffs, a dire situation indeed.
Oh, that's spooky. But they never lost hope. This is where things turn around. Dear, I was on a roll. But you're right, of course. Turning to the horizon, the surviving villagers did the only thing they could think to do. They prayed with all their hearts. They prayed to the sky and to the spirit of the friends and families they had lost.
Huh?
They prayed? What did that do? Well, at the moment when it seemed their fates were sealed. Poof. A dazzling sea of firelights burst forth from the hills and valleys. All of the shadow guards vanished in a single moment. It is said that in each firelight shone the spirit of someone who had fallen at the queen's hand. Thousands and thousands of them. They'd gather in a blaze of light and magic to force Queen Ambi from the mountains and offer sanctuary to those who lived on. That was many years ago, but we still benefit from their blessing today. We owe so much to those gentle spirits. The enchanted glow of the dawn flowers, the rich soil that makes our gardens so beautiful. It's all thanks to their magic. That's why the festival is so lovely. A beautiful reminder every 7 years that the firelights are watching over us. Ahem. Speaking of the festival, why don't we head back up to the village? We wouldn't want to tire ourselves out too much. Great. Thank you for joining us, Lyric. Such a pleasant little stroll. I'm glad I went back. Yay. Didn't freeze this time. Okay. Onwards. Alright, so we're going to run back into the woods and give the mean old man his necklace back, Mr. Byrne. Because I fear if I go home and start the festival, then I won't have the time to. Should I really go inside to give back the necklace? I could just leave it by the front door. Oh, we're gonna go in and give it to him in person, like a good person. You again! Do the children in this town have no manners at all? I told you to stay away from here.
Huh?
I'm sorry, mister. I'm just... Well, see, when me and my friend, when we... Spit it out, you bumbling girl. Better be something important for you to be trespassing a second time. I have your necklace. My friend was looking at it and accidentally took it back to the village. I'm not going to hit you, Lyric. Now give me that necklace. I just wanted to make sure it got back to you safely. We didn't mean to take it, I promise. We were just scared. Just go, you brainless child. Out the door, now. Listen, he may be a jerk, but that doesn't mean we need to be. I thought I'd lost it. Something's clearly gone on in his life. It doesn't mean we have the right to steal his shit. I think we did the right thing. Others' actions reflect on them. Our own actions reflect on us. Really seems like there's a secret path there. Anyway, yeah, even if when you do the right thing, they're still like super pissy and grumpy with you, it doesn't matter. You did the right thing, and that's really the most important. He lives so far from town. Holy crap. Okay, finally back to town. And now we can go check out our house. Love the wind chime sound. Oh, it's so shuddery.
What's there to say of the sleepy dragon? Suppose most folks would mark it a humble inn on a little hill. But to my family, Mum and Dad, Nana, my sister and me, it was our castle, our livelihood, my home.
Can't be distracted just now, Hart. Your old man falls off this stepladder. He's not getting back up anytime soon. And stars, do these windows need washing? I hope nothing happens to my dad. There you are, Lyric. Your father said you wouldn't be far behind him. Been busy today, have you? Yeah, I guess so. I was playing heroes and slimes with my friends. Well, you managed to avoid most of the cooking, but I could use yours and Isla's help to dishing up. Dinner's nearly ready to serve. Come talk to me soon when you're ready to give your darling mother a hand, okay? Of course, I'm just gonna go check out on everybody else first. Oh, I wish we got more than that one purr in there and that. Oh. Even when it's warm outside, you never stray too far from the fireplace, do you, Stormy? Good kitty.
Isla's my sister, but comparisons only flatter the one of us. She's older, for one, friendlier, cleverer, and far more talented. Oh, and very pretty. Cannot forget that. Nobody else ever did.
Yeah, it's hard to live in a sibling's shadow. Oh, hey, Minnow. I wasn't sure I'd see you before dinner. Figured Dad would have put you to work after your little adventure.
Huh?
Does the whole village know about that already? What did you expect? Gossip moves fast when you can count your neighbors on two hands, especially gossip about a new villager. Kelsey told her folks he was pretty nasty to you. Is that true? He wasn't that mean. Not really. He was mad, but only because we went in his house and broke a bottle. Kelsey's just being dramatic. What a surprise. Listen, Minnow, I know she's your best friend and all, but Kelsey sure is a brat sometimes. You right. Anyway, did you want to practice on the piano? Sure, I'll practice. I should practice that song you've been teaching me. See, it's double hard because, like, she clearly lives in Isla's shadow, but also Isla's genuinely a good sister to her, too, it seems like. Whenever you're ready. You remember the first few notes, don't you? There you go. The notes are sounding good, but it looks like you still need to work on your hand placement. Here, why don't you shift over a bit? I'll fill in the harmony and we can play together. Watch my hands. Oops. Your form is improving every day. I think you'll be better than me before too long. Maybe even better than Ma'am.
Huh?
I don't know. I can't even play both parts yet. Well, that's what practice is for, Minnow. You've got to keep at it. And speaking of practice, I should get back to mine. Nana always keeps her door locked when we have guests. I don't think she trusts adventurers very much. Ralph Silverwind, warrior, penned on the 6th of Star Month. Whenever the call to adventure brings my party to these distant mountains, admittedly not all that often, we are very happy to stay at the Slothful Dragon. The innkeepers are cordial and eager to please, but more importantly, they know how to respect the space and privacy any true adventurers will need after a demanding journey. My companions and I have shared more than one soul-bearing conversation in this modest chamber, and have hitherto never been harassed or interrupted. The food is decent as well, if a little plain by capital city standards. All in all, the Sluggish Dragon is a pleasant place to rest your heroic limbs at the end of your latest quest. They don't actually even know the name of the inn. They call it something different each time. Oh, Shadow. Nana would kill you if she found you sleeping on one of the guest beds. How did you even get in here? Guests don't stay in this room very often, but Nana says it's important to always have clean bedsheets and fresh drinking water anyway.
These adventurers were so rude to Mom when they came in. Barely said anything to her at the door. But you can kind of hear them talking. Mom hates this cloak. It's ancient, but Dad refuses to get a new one. Rain was pouring down in heavy sheets. Isabel watched it through the tavern windows, listening to the thunderous sounds of clanging steel and wild cheers as the soldiers filled the city. The Red Knights had finally returned from their glorious campaign, and at long last her wait was over. He must have been among the first through the west gate, for mere moments later the old oak doors flung open. A familiar figure stood in the doorway, chiseled, somehow even more handsome than she remembered him, glistening in the rain. She let a little moan and was in his arms before she could stop herself. It had been an entire year, and she couldn't contain her passion any longer. She stopped kissing him just long enough to breathe a single word, causing his eyes to shine with desire. Upstairs, she whispered, "We should not be reading Mom's dirty books." I wonder what was upstairs. Mom never read me this book.
So, when I was a kid, I was a voracious reader. I would read everything in the house. Absolutely read my mom's erotic novels way before I should have.
Books stacked on books full of sheet music. I bet Mom has most of it memorized by now.
Oh, I bet me and Isla share a room. Isla's top secret diary, 19th star month. Tonight's the big night. Mom and Dad have been talking all week about how beautiful the festival is going to be. I don't remember the last one very well. I was only 7, so I truly can't wait. I just know it's going to be wonderfully romantic. Me and you-know-who made a plan to find ourselves some privacy. There's a secret overlook just east of Miss Eva's house. All you have to do is squeeze through the laurel bushes growing at the edge of the cliff and then throw yourself off because, Lyric, I know you're reading this. I told you not to touch my diary. She's dating the twin.
Busted. How does she always know?
She's dating the twin.
Kelsey says playing with dolls is for babies. I should hide my castle before she stays over again.
Kelsey's a bitch.
What should I wear for the festival tonight?
Change to green. Green sounds nice.
Green like a grasshopper on a leaf.
Oh, you look so cute.
Sir Cuddles, brave defender of the bedroom kingdom, how fare thee? Give thy lady princess a full report on the day's events. Nothing to report, huh? What a boring kingdom. Isla hates it when I touch her things, but Nana says it's important to keep the whole inn tidy. Get the bed. Hope she's not too mad.
Okay. I am changed. I have explored.
Ready to help dish up, Lyric? It's nearly time for dinner. Yes. I'm ready. I can't wait for dinner to start.
Oh,
Happy to hear it. I knew I could count on you. Isla, loath as I am to pull you away from your music, it's time to dish up. Come help your sister. Now, it might look like there's plenty of food, but with the entire village coming to dinner, we can't afford to drop a single morsel. To see the whole village having dinner together. Well, I've only taken a few bites, but I have to say this meal already lives up to the occasion. Compliments to the chef. I have to agree. Delicious as usual, Caroline. You flatter me, gentlemen. It's nothing special, honestly. Maybe a bit more garlic in the potatoes than usual. A bit more. Called me old-fashioned, but I can hardly taste the vegetable under all these spices. You know, when your father used to make his signature mashed potatoes, he would put just the tiniest sprinkle of... I know, a sprinkle of thyme and a dash of rosemary. I'm using my own recipe here, not Dad's ancient one. And what's wrong with tradition? We have recipes that have been in the family longer than the sleeping dragon itself. Elspeth, I don't think your daughter's saying there's anything wrong with how Fergus used to make them.
Hey, Lyric. Thanks for sitting at this table instead of with your friends. I can't imagine a more boring conversation. I didn't want you to get stuck listening to Mam and Nana bicker all by yourself.
The culinary arts have come a long way since the Bronze Age, ma'am. It isn't disrespectful to add a more modern flair to an old dish. Culinary arts? Psh! Globbing heaps of haphazard fixings on your plate until you can barely taste a thing. You whippersnappers simply don't appreciate.
So Graham really broke into that man's house? He doesn't look very friendly. I wonder what his deal is. Actually, me and Kelsey went in there together. I think he used to be an adventurer. He has this big sword and everything. Whoa, really? That was pretty dangerous, Lyric, but also pretty cool. What's he doing in Fireside then? Dunno. I don't want him here, though. I don't think I want him here, though. He looks so angry all the time.
So it sounds as though we can all agree there's value in tradition as well as being open to new ideas. I certainly think so. Take blacksmithing, for example.
We should give him a chance. He's probably got some dark, tragic secret in his past. You know how adventurers are?
He does seem to be very sad.
Speaking of,
The adventurers what passed through our village. Didn't care for them in those days. Didn't understand. In truth, they were heroes, out braving the dangers of the world and making it safer for the rest of us. But through the eyes of a little girl, they were cold, arrogant, certainly not deserving of the care Mom and Dad showed them.
Back to your plates, ladies. You're gawking like you've never seen a rude adventurer before. They didn't even notice we were all sitting down to a village dinner. Imagine being that self-absorbed. Just their way, isn't it? It's nothing new. Certainly not. My own grandmother would go on and on to anyone who'd listen about how boorish and oblivious adventurers could be.
Ma'am, may I be excused? I want to see if Kelsey's done so we can find a good spot to watch the firelights.
You've finished your dinner already? Stars above, you're going to choke if you eat any faster. What about your face browns?
I ate most of them.
Well, then you can watch most of the firelights before I send you up to bed. Unless you'd rather finish your sprouts.
Okay, I'll finish them.
Waiting for something tragic to happen. Oh! Look at them running in circles. This is such a lovely village. All right, Heart. I tell you to be on your best behavior, but I know you're already planning on it. Your mother and I are going to watch the lights with some of the other grown-ups. We're going to be drinking. Stars, James, she knows what wine is, and why it's a drink for adults. Don't you, Lyric?
Yep, wine is what you drink with your friends that makes you all loud and annoying and laugh at jokes that aren't funny.
Can't tell if that was sarcasm or not. She really is our daughter, isn't she? Well, she's mine at least. I've actually been meaning to tell you about a dashing adventurer I met around 9 years ago. Very funny. Dashing or no, no adventurer could have peeled your eyes away from this handsome devil. What was that about sarcasm again? Have a good time, Lyric. We'll come find you in an hour or two when it's time for bed. Oh, she's alone. Her twin has snuck off. We love you, Heart. If you need anything, go bother your sister.
Love you too, Dad. I will.
Something bad's going to happen to Dad. Maybe even Mom. What are you doing down here, Lyric? The show's starting soon. Get up to the overlook with your friends. Thousands of twinkling lights rising over the lake. You're going to love the sight, dear. Okay. Oh, hey, Minnow. Did you need something? Nope, I'm fine. Ooh, what about you? You seem a little sad. We could have teased her about Jackdaw. Sad? Oh, nope, just waiting for the lights. Speaking of, you should run along to the Overlook. I saw your friends up there claiming all the best spots. Where is he? Almost time for the firelights. Where is he? Why did he abandon her? The jerk?
Graham has to watch the firelights from his room because you told on him. Good going, Lyric.
Bitch.
Hey, Finn. Are you ready to watch the firelights? Yeah! I can't look at you because I don't want to miss it. You can stand next to me if you want, though.
Her little skip.
So, where are they? I don't see anything.
I can't move from behind him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Is that a dragon? That's a dragon. Oh, no. I can't talk to anybody. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh God, where is everybody? I can't see anything. Lyric, grab my hand! This way now! Oh no. I knew something bad was gonna happen.
We came to know it as the shadow. It sounds mundane, doesn't it? Unassuming. None of us had any notion what it was or where it came from, which only deepened our fear of it.
It's the Shadow Soldiers.
I know what comes after in most stories. Gathered up a party of misfit heroes and set off to vanquish evil, did I? I didn't. Never even left the village. Mine's a different sort of story, remember? Full of sadness and sentiment and people very precious to me, if not the great ballads. I lost a few of them that night.
Yeah. Knew that was coming.
Mom and Dad both died in that first storm.
Oh.
A handful of other folks besides.
Oh no.
I can speak of it plainly now, but in the moment, well, it took ages to reassemble the shattered pieces of our lives, and things could never truly go back to the way they were.
Oh.
Yet, the shadow passed, and we lived on. What else could we do?
It's so
What
sad.
else can we ever?
Ugh. Hell of an opening chapter. I played Ferret, Heroes, and Slimes. I gave the Dragonberry to Imelda. Could have fed the Dragonberry to the ducks. We'd rather give it to Imelda. Return Burns' necklace in person. Blame Graham for breaking the bottle. There was a shiny stone I could have given to Isaac or Brianna? What? Yeah, I'm glad I sat with my family at dinner because they're dead. Oh. Safe story. So I'm gonna end this episode here. Obviously,
Just absolutely stunning game. The voice acting that we get, the visuals, the story. It's so lovely and sad and moving, and I already adore the characters. I'm really looking forward to playing more. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna save it here, but I'm absolutely gonna continue playing. Please keep an eye out for more future videos. I'll get them recorded so they can go up while I'm out and about at conventions and events for the next several weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. If you did, go ahead, give the video a like, leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to talk with you all about this game, especially since I can't play it live with you. I'm gonna go sit with this story for a while. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.